Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Hey, this is Chris from the Ticket Stub. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hello, everyone. I'm Margie Taylor, your host for Conroe Culture News, Lone Star Community Radio from downtown Conroe. We are located in the Conroe Tower. If you haven't been by, you should check it out in the lobby. So this is on FM 104.5, 106.1, Facebook Live on Conroe Culture News, YouTube Live, and also gets put on the City of Conroe Cable TV. Our City TV. The show is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic and the Lake Conroe Realty Group. So Roger Stein Chiropractors is located at 3033 West Davis by Conroe High School and Taco Bell. And they treat anyone from infants to seniors, weekend athletes to professionals with a focus on natural, holistic healing to not only relieve pain, but achieve optimal health. Dr. Stacy Rogers holds certifications in adjusting extremities, arm, legs, hands, feet, clinical nutrition, prenatal, and pediatric care. If you're a new patient, it's under $30 to go have a visit with her or one of her physicians, and it all gets donated to CASA, kids that are in CPS custody. So that's Roger Stein Chiropractic. Lake Conroe Group is serving the greater Montgomery County area with an emphasis on Lake Conroe. If you want to know more information about Vinny Sinisi and Bruce Sellers with the Lake Conroe Group, please look at the description in our radio show to find out more details, phone number, website, and so forth. Few things happening around us. As you all know, this is the week before Christmas. So this is the last Monday. Christmas weekend is this coming weekend, with Christmas being on Sunday. So you should shop local. That's all I'm going to say about that. Shop local because the local merchants need your business. This is a big week for them. The last Sip, Shop, and Stroll is in downtown Conroe this Thursday, December 22nd, from 5 to 8 p.m. The retail stores will be open. There'll be live music. There'll be vendors, food trucks, all kinds of things going on. And it's mostly on Main Street, but you can also see some of the vendors over at Founders Plaza Park by the Owen Theater. The Conroe Art League's annual Christmas is Forgiving is still going on, and they're not open today, but they are open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 4 with unique items from local artists. They have items that are priced at $150 or less, and that goes back, of course, to the artists. And if you haven't been in the Conroe Art League Madeley Gallery, you need to do that. It's right by the Red Brick Tavern and Foss Brewing, if you haven't been in there, that's pretty cool too. That just opened this year. Do you have plans for New Year's Eve? Well, that's the next best thing. So we will see some events happening at 202 Main, the Corner Pub, the Red Brick Tavern, Pacific Yard House is having Johnny and the Sensations will be playing all your favorite songs from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and music from right now. So those are a couple events. Enjoy the holiday season, and we will be right back with our first segment with Whitney Christina. She is a hypnotist, and the second segment we will have Vinny Sinisi and Bruce Sellers with the Lake Conroe Group Realty. We'll be right back.
2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Rogers Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Team Sinisi is a proud sponsor of Conroe Culture News. Vinny Sinisi and his professional team provide comprehensive real estate services throughout the greater Montgomery County area and beyond. Whether looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, Team Sinisi has an impeccable reputation. Contact Team Sinisi for a great experience at teamsinisi.com. That's TEAMSINISI.com.
Hello, and we are back with our first segment today, and we're going to learn all about hypnotism and what it is and how it can help you. Whitney Christine, she has a Facebook page, Whitney Christina Hypnosis, and you can find out more information at whitneychypnosis.com. Of course, the details are in our segment as well if you want to follow up. But she's going to tell us all about hypnosis. So welcome, Whitney.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited to be here and talk about hypnosis. I get a lot of questions about, can I be hypnotized and what is hypnosis? And if you don't mind, I'd just like to define what the U.S. government defines as hypnosis.
Okay. You're not going to hypnotize me first, are you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, good. Because I need to be paying attention here.
So the government defines hypnosis as the bypass of the critical factor of the mind. The critical factor of the mind is the part of your mind that stores everything that you thought or believed or know, and it compares that information with old information with new information coming in. So hypnosis allows us to bypass the comparing mechanism so you can make powerful changes right away. So what you thought you believed in and you want to make a change, you can do that. So if you believed that smoking is good or whatever you wanted to, you can change it with, I'd rather be healthy.
No, it sounds really good. But what I think most people are thinking about is when you see shows with people go on stage and they do silly things. So what is the reality? Will you do things you don't really want to do? How does that work?
Great question. Thank you so much. So a hypnotist cannot make you do anything that you would not do normally. And as a matter of fact, your mind has safety mechanisms built into it so that if a hypnotist would say something to you that you disagreed with, you would immediately come out of hypnosis. So the people on stage doing those things are usually the extrovert type of people that like getting up and doing fun things.
Like to be entertaining.
Yes, yes.
So if your mind would not normally go that direction, is it kind of like when you're dreaming and you wake up suddenly because something's not right, and kind of like in a different way?
Yes.
Okay.
So if, for instance, the hypnotist asks you to do something that you're morally, like they'd say, Margie, go rob a bank, you'd come out of it and go, are you crazy? I'm not robbing a bank.
Okay, so that's the comfort thing that people are afraid of.
Yes.
So hypnosis, is it safe?
It is safe. There are people that are wondering, like you said, is hypnosis safe? But people naturally go into hypnosis all the time. Have you ever been driving in your car and you're all of a sudden from point A to point B and you wonder how you got there? That is a natural state of hypnosis. So people go in and out of hypnosis all the time, and you're aware of everything that goes on during your hypnosis session. You're conscious, you're aware.
So how did you get into this?
That is such a great question. I've been working with people for a long time, trying to make changes in their life and that kind of thing. And I've always come up against, I really want to do it, but there's something stopping me from doing it. And come to find out, it is their beliefs that they have had for their whole lifetime, that this is just the way that things are. And it's hard to change your lifestyle if you don't change the underlying substructure. So I found that hypnosis, going into the subconscious mind and actually replacing the belief. For instance, let's say that you had this belief that you were unlovable. We find that that happens in childhood, and it could be something really odd, like maybe your mom had an emergency and had to go take care of your dad, and you guys were at the Walmart, and somehow you didn't get in the car. She came back for you, and everything turned out great, but that just made you feel like, oh, mom leaves me. That means that she doesn't love me, so I'm unlovable. And you take that childhood misinterpretation into adulthood, and you think, oh, well, I'm still not lovable, and then your relationship.
And sometimes you probably don't even realize why you have that feeling.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. And so going back to that point and going, oh, no, I am lovable. Mom came back. Everything's fine. And look, I had this great life. So we go back and take that belief out before it started and could take root and replace it with the truth about you.
So it's just an inward discovery and just going a deeper dive into what's going on to help you live life better.
Exactly.
Mentally, physically, everything. Because going back physically, so hypnosis can redirect behaviors and help with things like that, right?
Yes, it can. For instance, people that do smoking or too much behavior, so too much eating, too much drinking, any kind of behavior that is too much, we can go back and redirect that. We can redirect from, like if you have a nail biting issue or a hair pulling issue, we can go back and talk about that, just change that behavior really quickly.
Does this work with just adults or kids, teenagers?
It works with kids, teenagers, adults, anybody with a subconscious and a conscious mind.
So anybody.
Yeah.
What is your practice directed at? All ages, or what works for you?
I work mostly with older teenagers to adults. I don't specialize in children. I have people that do. So if you have a child that would like to work with, I have somebody for that. I like working with the adults because I get great satisfaction in seeing that they've had this lifelong habit, this lifelong behavior or belief, and they have been able to change it, to find out the truth about them, that, yeah, they really are lovable, or they really are enough, or that kind of thing. To be able to change a lifetime worth of that is just so rewarding.
So how did you get to this point where you could have a practice of hypnosis? I mean, is it a certification, or how does that work?
Yeah, I do. I have a master certification from Cal Banyan in Dallas. He has the 5-path hypnosis method, which is great. It's a process and a procedure that goes back and has been tried and true and tested, and helps people change lives. So yeah, I did get my master certification in that. And I'm ready.
So you've done this for how long?
So the master certification I got in February.
Okay, so pretty recent as far as that. But before you received that, you also had other practices that you did.
Yeah, I was a facilitator for Access Consciousness, which is, and it's still a great modality, asking questions to open doors to how to change things in your life. Again, that's a great modality. But going in with hypnosis and going to the subconscious mind where the belief is actually stored and then change it is powerful and quick.
Wow. So what do you like doing the most about this?
I really like changing lives. I had a woman that came in and she had to stop smoking. And the reason that she had to stop smoking is because she was going to have surgery. And she'd been smoking for 20 plus years and did not believe that that was something that she could stop. And if she didn't have this surgery, her quality of life was going to be down the tubes. There was nothing, it was a surgery in her neck. And so within the first session, right after the first session, she was like, my clothes really smell. Oh, wow. I really do hate all of the things associated with smoking. And she had a glimmer of hope that she would be able to stop smoking, get the surgery, change her life. And it is, they come in crying because nothing else has worked. And they've tried and tried. But when they come through hypnosis and it works for them, it is really rewarding. And life-changing. And I just get so happy.
So they really do have to be motivated to make a change.
Correct.
They can't just go in there kind of halfway saying, well, I think I kind of would like to stop smoking or drinking or whatever it is. They have to really be motivated to want this change for it to happen.
Exactly. Great way to put it. For instance, if your husband says to you, Margie, I want you to stop smoking, and you feel like, nah, I like smoking, but he's nagging me, so I'm going to go.
Right.
You're not going to have success, as opposed to you want to make the change in your life for yourself, and you really want to do it, then it'll happen.
And that will happen with anything.
Correct.
You know, because you help with all kinds of things: sadness, stress, anger, grief. I mean, how does that work with things that aren't abusive behavior, so to speak?
So again, we go back to the point where this belief or this situation started, and we identify the emotion that was there, and we put in a satisfying response. So, for instance, if you have a lot of anxiety, and you want to go back and say, okay, I'm going to give you another story. I had a lady with social anxiety. She just got promoted with her job. And so she was having even more anxiety. Now she had to perform in front of new bosses, new promotion, prove to all of her staff that she earned the promotion. And so what we did was we just went back to the place where the anxiety started, and just let her know that, she's confident and she can do it, and just replace the belief of whatever made her worry about that to, yeah, she's got this, you can do this. And so it works with anxiety. I had a gentleman that was a compulsive hand washer, and he was going to radiology school. And so, being able to work with the public and not have to wash your hands every 5 seconds, it was a really great benefit to change his life. And his professors were saying, yeah, I've noticed the change in you after the first session. And after all of our sessions, we had about 6 sessions together. And after that, he was able to function in society, in the world.
And he felt better about himself, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Because that just changes everything, your self-esteem, your work.
Yeah.
And it all trickles around that because you're focused on the bad thing that you need to overcome.
Correct. Yep. You've
Yeah.
been in my sessions.
No, I'm just listening to you. So what is the best experience? Was that it with the lady with the smoking, or is there another one that you can share that made a huge difference and you felt really worthy of what you do?
There was another. They are all so good. There was another one that I've had recently. A woman called me. She is pregnant, and she was in her last trimester of her pregnancy, and she had a preterm baby with her first pregnancy. So she was having what she felt like was stress and anxiety about her upcoming birth. And so we were able to go back and find out, okay, what caused that, and let her know, and let her baby know, and let her body know that she's got this. Everything is going to be the way it's supposed to be. And so she was relieved of stress and anxiety.
And that helps her have a healthier baby, too, without being stressed.
Yeah, and the stress also contributes. I'm not clinical, so I can't say, this causes.
Right.
But she's able to carry her baby. Now she's past the window where she's preterm, and now this is going to be a term baby, and she's happy. And
Just help her get more relaxed.
Yeah. So the whole thing,
Wow.
I mean, all of them are really just so.
You enjoy it.
I
You're
love
very
it.
passionate about this.
Yeah.
So have you done something else before that redirected you to start working in hypnosis?
Well, I have been doing, like I said, the access consciousness facilitation, like asking questions and opening doors to future possibilities. I mean, I've been working with people with that for a long time, and it's very helpful. But again, it doesn't get to the where the seed was planted and the behavior started, and so it's
You do a deeper dive
Yeah.
with hypnosis
deeper dive and
for
quicker.
better results.
Yeah.
quicker, better results.
Quicker, better. Yeah. Still asking questions opens doors to all possibilities. So there was never anything that ever happened that a question wasn't asked.
So tell me about your practice. If somebody wanted to set up a time with you, do they go to your website or how do they get an appointment?
Thank you for asking. So they can go to my website and book a consultation, or you can call me and we'll book a consultation and we'll have a conversation and see if...
What's your phone number?
My phone number is 832-225-2001. Just give me a call and we'll set up a time and talk about it.
Do you go to them or do they come to you, or how does that work?
I have an office that
Okay.
they come to, and I also do Zoom.
And where is it? In Conroe, the Woodlands? Where is it?
It is it's right behind Costco, so it's...
Oh, okay. Right off of 242
Yep.
area. Okay, very good. That's kind of centrally located.
Yeah, yeah.
You can go shopping afterwards. So, well, very good. Is there anything I have omitted?
No, you're very thorough, and thank you so much for having me on your show. I really love talking about hypnosis, and I love...
So, Christmas stress, is that a thing?
Oh, family stress, absolutely.
Have you had a lot of people that have come in about stress about the holidays or anything, or
Yeah,
families and
Yeah.
family visiting or going to visit families or anything like that?
Yeah, you're right on the head. Families induce stress, and family holidays induce stress, and Christmas induces stress. So, just how about, I don't want to hit Uncle Joe when I see him. So what can I do to relieve that stress? So yeah.
So what is the basic thing you tell people about Christmas stress?
The basic thing about Christmas stress is, families are designed to rub off the edges of the
They know your
diamond.
weak points.
They do, and they poke the bear. They like to poke the bear.
They know where the triggers are.
And we can't change their behavior. They're going to be who they are. What we can do is change how you respond to them. And wouldn't it be so funny if you just didn't and saw what happened then?
Or go get a glass of wine and walk away.
Exactly.
Maybe not, just saying. Go to a different room, right? Go help with the cooking. Do something else.
Yep.
Well, very good. WhitneyCHypnosis.com, Whitney Christina Hypnosis on Facebook. And do you have Instagram too? Do you do that? Or just
I do.
the
It's Whitney_C_hypnosis.
So check it out. And if you have been thinking about doing this, talk to her, see if she has some ideas to help your life be better, healthier in 2023, right?
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Very good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment, or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Team Sinisi is a proud sponsor of Conroe Culture News. Vinny Sinisi and his professional team provide comprehensive real estate services throughout the greater Montgomery County area and beyond. Whether looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, Team Sinisi has an impeccable reputation. Contact Team Sinisi for a great experience at teamsinisi.com. That's TEAMSINISI.com.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
An estimated 1 in 10 births will result in a neonatal intensive care stay, also known as the NICU. Overnight, a family can find themselves and their newborn baby in a critical situation. The Mila Foundation financially and spiritually assists families in need. If you would like to volunteer or become a monthly sponsor, please visit us at www.themilafoundation.org. Again, that's www.themilafoundation.org, because every life matters.
Hello, everyone. I'm back again, and I have Vinny Sinisi with me, and he's sponsor of the show. But he is now with the Sellers Realty Group, the Lake Conroe Group, however you want to say it, the Lake Conroe Group.
Yeah, so Bruce Sellers and I partnered, and he had the Sellers Group. I had Team Sinisi. So we merged as business partners and formed the Lake Conroe Group. He has a big presence in Bentwater and all around the lake. And, of course, you know, my Team Sinisi group, it was in Magnolia and South Montgomery County. So
it made sense.
We just combined efforts. He's the number one player in the Conroe office. I was one of the top players in the Woodlands office, and I just moved to Bentwater in March. So we're going to crush it now. So, and disprove all the naysayers that, you know, the media is out there talking about how bad, you know, the world is with the housing market. And
well, I want to talk about that too and what that looks like.
Yeah.
So you merged together. Do you have a very strong emphasis then on the Lake Conroe communities, April Sound?
All over Lake Conroe.
Crown Oaks, French Quarter, Bridgepoint, Bentwater, all of those?
All of them. Yeah, you can go to the website, thelakeconroegroup.com.
Right.
It's got them all on there. So, yeah.
So this is exciting.
Oh, fantastic. I mean,
so how long have you been together working?
We started like October 1st, and he propositioned me, excuse me, I don't know, 6 months ago, and I said, "Are you sure you want me working with you?" And he said, "Yeah, I know what your history is and how good your business is. What if we combined efforts?" He says, I'm probably going to transition out after a few more years, and I want you to take over my business with your business. I said, "Great deal." He's a great dude, Marine, Vietnam vet, Purple Heart guy. So, I mean, you know, my history with Gold Star families and all that, I'm into it. So, yeah, it's
very
a good deal. Great opportunity.
And I saw that he does a lot with Toys for Tots.
Big Toys for Tots guy. Yeah, just finished it up last week. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That seems to be a big effort with a lot of people here. And that it isn't just national, but helps local organizations, families, and all of that. I know the Veterans Commission was involved with Toys for Tots too.
Yeah.
So that's good. So, all right. So you're now officing out of the 3083 location, Keller Williams?
Yep, 105 and 3083, big red building.
I know it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You're doing a lot of it. It's over by, is that Walgreens?
Yep, right next to it.
Yeah, on the corner there.
Go over there and get my Reese's
and
trees,
they just finished that little road thing of where I always turned by the church.
That's right.
Because it wasn't so pretty for a while. But now they made it a better turn over there. So I know exactly where that is. So how many is on your team over there?
So we have like 7 now.
Okay.
And the good news is, I went to a deal with Charlie Riley there, the county commissioner, and he did a kind of an expose at the chamber. And, well, you were there. And he talked about the mobility issues, and Charlie and I were pretty tight. And I said, "Charlie, since I moved here in 1980, mobility has always been one of the biggest issues for Montgomery County." And I said, "It's bittersweet because that means people are moving here.
Yeah, the growth
They just
is
can't
huge.
move around." Yeah,
Right.
And all those extensions that he was talking about, it is. I mean,
That was a good presentation.
This is the best place to live in the country, in my opinion. Best bang for the buck for housing, for education, for amenities. I mean, it's really tough to beat. I mean, it's a beautiful place. So,
How long have you been in Texas?
1978, moved down here to get into medical school.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened? You took a turn.
You know.
Another story.
We'll do it on another show.
Another story. So how long have you been in real estate?
05. Yep. Yeah, so going on 18 years, and I'm about to go full time. Yeah, it's kind of a joke, but ready to go full time. I think
Good.
the deal is with education, and one of the biggest issues with education, as you hear from the media, everything that's wrong with the world, and yet there's really great things that are happening in real estate. And in Montgomery County, I mean, like I said, just look around. There's cranes. There's roads being built. People are moving to Montgomery County. The Woodlands is labeled as the #1 place to live in the whole nation
Conroe is too.
For 2 years in a row. Well, that's what I'm saying. Just pick Montgomery County.
Right, absolutely.
And since 1978, when I moved here, you think about the growth of Conroe. I mean, there used to be a 10-minute barrier between the two towns. Now it's all meshed together with Grand Central Park and the Woodlands, and now Willis. I don't know if you've seen that HEB that's going in up there.
I live in Willis.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, HEB doesn't build buildings unless
they
they know they have the
in
Democratic.
Willis and Magnolia, and they opened on the same
day, November 2nd.
Right,
and I have a
absolutely.
really good friend that helps us a lot with Baseball for Babies. That's a big shot with HEB, and his wife is the big shot with HEB in doing the commercials. So all those commercials you see, like Salsa Night and all that, she takes care of that. She actually does all the logistics. Yeah. So, interest rates in the country right now are around 8%. That's the average in the history of real estate for the United States.
We just
8%.
got spoiled.
Yeah. Well, you and I are a little bit older. And,
Thanks.
I mean, my first home in the Woodlands in 1980, 16%. And
Yeah,
people
that's
were
crazy.
beating each other up
I
to
remember
get
having
one.
one with 11%.
Right?
Yeah.
You were like, oh, my God.
And then we had to do those arms, which isn't always good.
And you have to remember that
It's never good, actually.
young kids who are just maybe first-time home buyers who have been around for the last 10 years, maybe from their 10-year-old year to their 20-year-old year now, all they've seen is 2 and 3 and 4% interest rates. So when they get to 8, it's like, oh my God, the end of the world. The thing is, the demand still outweighs the supply. Just look around. Audubon down 1488. We're getting ready to build a couple of really big communities up and around Willis. And I mean, people.
Aren't they building one by Willis High School?
That's right.
Yeah.
Over there on the east side now.
I was over there Saturday, and my husband says, "Did you know this was there?" I said, "Well, I've been up here, yes. But yeah,
it's
coming."
amazing. I mean, it really is. So there's only been one time in the history of the United States that a decline in housing prices has caused a recession, 08, 09, when everybody in the world was getting a loan. We called them ninja loans. No income, no job or asset, ninja. And if you had a pulse, you could get a loan. And I'm not even sure that was a qualification back then. Never, ever has a recession, which is what we're in now, allegedly, depending on the definition from our wonderful elected officials
Everybody's
in Washington.
watching it to see what happens
But
now.
never has a recession caused a decline in prices. The deal that happened was you got 2 years of COVID. Everybody was locked up in their house, and then all of a sudden they just said, we got to go buy a new house. I got to get out. And prices just spiked. I mean, crazy. So the values, if you've gotten your Montgomery County Appraisal District value, the appraisal values have gone up really commensurate with the prices now. So, I mean, my first sale in Bentwater 6 months ago was $1.2 million, and I thought, maybe that's pushing it. It was on the lake, infinity pool.
That's nice.
Yeah. We had 7 offers the first weekend.
Really?
We sold it for $1,410,000 cash, and they went in there and almost gutted the place because it was a 20-year-old house. I'm like, that's just not happening anymore. Now, homes on the market now are less than 30 days, which is normal. That's a normal market.
That's not bad, though.
Compared to 30 minutes.
Well, yes, but I'm saying, I remember when houses would wait a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
4 months or something like that.
And the luxury market, luxury around here is $750 and over. In Bentwater, there's a lot of those. They're usually the first to take the hit when the housing market is declining. And I can tell you, out of the 17 listings we have that are in Bentwater, none of those are taking a hit. Taking a little bit longer to sell, except the value, again, is commensurate with the price. And, there's only 3 factors. Location.
Yeah, they're taking longer, meaning that they're not selling the next day.
Yeah.
It's not really long.
Yeah. And on a day like today, probably not going to get a lot of showings because it's pouring out there.
Unless you really need a house,
And you know what? It's great you said that. That's awesome, because in the history of the world, I don't know if you know anybody that doesn't have a roof over their head, whether they're leasing, They're getting ready to buy.
Well, I work with Habitat for Humanity too, so I do know people. Yes.
Yeah. But everybody has a roof over their head unless they're living in a tent.
A major thing. You've got to have a safe place to live.
That's right.
So you got to have a safe place, but it's all on what your family size is, and the schools are a big factor. If you have school-age kids, and if you don't have school-age kids, the cost of the school taxes is another factor.
Yeah, well, that's another show too.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually the larger part of your taxes.
Absolutely.
Is school.
But you know what? In contrast to that, if you don't have great schools, you won't have people moving into those districts, because that's a major factor. You know, are my kids going to be educated? And if they are, I want to move into a really good school district. So I don't mind paying school. I mean, I don't have any kids in school anymore, but I've got grandkids that are coming up. So
you want kids to be safe. You want them to be at a safe environment.
Well, here's the deal: we're old, Margie. I don't want.
You keep saying that.
I'm older than you. Old is a relative term.
I do have a birthday in 3 weeks, so
yeah. So
you just brought it back to reality.
You know, we have to depend on the younger generation to run this country and keep us safe, and that's the people that are coming through the schools. I mean, all those people are going to be senators and congressmen.
Of course.
You know, we got Kevin Brady retiring.
Yep,
he's been a friend for 40 years, that guy.
He's helped me a lot this year.
We got a new guy coming in.
And he's going to be strength.
He's going to be awesome.
Okay.
Yep.
He's going to make things happen.
So Montgomery County people, if you're listening out there, Montgomery County, come buy a house from the Lake Conroe group and move to Montgomery County, because we got a lady that called today. They moved to Tennessee 5 years ago from moving from Montgomery County. They called us and said, all right, we've had enough of Tennessee, time to come back. So they're looking for a $2 million home. I mean, which was probably $1 million, 5 years ago. So
of course. So the partnership is good, and so let's talk about Baseball for Babies.
Yeah, we love Baseball for Babies. January 29th, 2023, Big Barn, Do-Si-Do.
Okay.
Right? Mark May, a local singer-songwriter that I love, been listening to him for years. He's agreed to perform. We'll have all sorts of sports celebrities there. We're rounding that up right now, and we'll probably know more in the next few weeks exactly who is.
Explain Baseball for Babies and what the fundraiser is.
So Baseball for Babies is our
501c3.
Yeah, that my daughter started.
It's your passion.
Yeah, 8 or 9 years ago, after our first grandbaby passed away after 19 days, 1 pound, 4 ounces. She fought, never needed a ventilator. The people at TCH, Texas Children's Hospital, were amazed. Oh my God, this baby's awesome. Now doesn't need a ventilator. And she passed. And so my daughter was so distraught by it, she said, how can I help future preemies? So she started this Baseball for Babies thing. And it's nationwide now. And her goal is to have a national Baseball for Babies Day in all 30 baseball parks. Vincent, my oldest son, was a big baseball hero and played at the Woodlands, won the first Texas state championship at the Woodlands in 2000, ended up at 2003 at Rice, won the national championship. So we're pretty well known. I coached baseball kids for 35 years. I was just telling the girls down the hall that I got 3 kids into the Naval Academy and 1 into the Air Force Academy just from coaching. And it was a part-time gig, but this Baseball for Babies thing is really taken off. We raised $60,000 that one night last year, and so we're going for $100,000 this year. Yeah, it should be a packed house. Mark May's a good draw, and he's agreed to do it. The entertainers are touched by this, and who doesn't want to save a baby?
I know.
Babies are like veterans.
That's true.
I mean, every preemie babies, they either know one, they were one, they had one, or they know somebody that knows one, right?
Yeah.
So,
of course.
Yeah. So we're all fired up about January 29th.
No, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're passionate about that, saving the babies, but you're also passionate about other things too, like veterans. You always give out flags.
Yep, that's our deal. I'm the flag guy, and
you are the flag guy.
And it's important. I grew up with a Gold Star family. I know you're very touched by that. You're experiencing that right now, and people just don't appreciate those guys and gals. They dodge bullets every day, and sometimes they don't. And, that Purple Heart that I mentioned that Bruce earned, that's the last medal you want to get. You don't want to get that one. So, yeah. In fact, I think I'm going to go to lunch at the Honor Cafe after this, so if you want to head out with me.
Well, I got a couple errands. My son's shadow box is there at Honor Cafe, too.
Yeah.
It's in a private room on the wall. Yep. So, that is a whole big thing for me. I'm working on updating medical protocols across the Department of Defense.
You keep fighting.
Keep them safe.
For that. You keep fighting for what you know you're fighting for.
And like you, and your daughter, sometimes really bad things happen, but if you can turn it around to help others and save another life.
Yep. Mackenzie would be 15 this year. So
I love that
just
name.
keep on going.
Yeah, it's very crippling.
Yeah.
And, my son was 32, and he was a joy to be around. He made people smile all the time. And
well, go to baseballforbabies.org
yes,
to learn about that. And
January 29th?
January 29th, come on.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
tickets will probably be on sale in another week or two, or at least right after the first of the year.
So the best way, do you still have your same phone number then to connect with you? Because I wasn't sure about all this, because this is all brand new, this merge. So you'll have the same phone number, and you'll have a different email?
Now, you can still go Vinny at teamsinisi.com, and it just gets forwarded to our office. We've got a great staff. The two admins we have, one went to McCullough, and the other one went to Conroe High School. And they know everybody.
So they know the area, and it all works. But it's thelakeconroegroup.com. And is that the same on Facebook too, the Lake Conroe group?
Yes. And all that's being updated because of the merge, getting people to do the website.
So your page will then change or merge with that, or how does that work?
We'll probably
You're not sure.
We'll probably just link it. Yeah. I mean, today I asked him, I said, what about emails and pictures? And she goes, we got to go get our pictures taken because it's just tough to get an appointment to do that. But
good.
But the website really, the Lake Conroe, .com.
thelakeconroegroup.com.
Yeah, you can catch me.
So you are a sponsor, so thank you for that. I don't know, 2 years, something like that, Dick? Something like that. Yeah. So thank you for sponsoring the show.
I love you, man.
Lets others come on, and because
we want you to be successful. My wife asks me every 3 months, are we still doing this? I said, absolutely. Why? I said, because it's a good thing.
Well, it keeps your name out there for one thing, and you're on the community radio show website, irlonestar.com. You can see it on there, and that will need to be updated so that people can continue. Of course, you're still reachable. Like you just said, you're going to merge them together. But it's just cleaner to call it all the Lake Conroe group.
The way I look at it, Margie, people cross paths for a reason.
Yes.
It's kind of like me going down the hallway there. I got here early because, last time I got here a little tardy. And we talked about just coming together. They know people that I know. I mean, talking about the Lone Star College, Dan Hauser started that. And we said, you're going to put it where? 242? This is 1980. Nobody's going to go out there.
It's a nice campus.
Yeah. So you see how that's grown. And it's just, there's a reason that you and I crossed paths several years ago. I don't know if it was the chamber or, maybe I cut you off and,
No, I'm not that way.
But the whole point here is that Montgomery County is such a great network of whatever you want if you want to go do it. And, you hear about all these bad reports every day on the news. There's so much good that goes on.
There is good. People emphasize the bad a lot of times.
Yeah, Don Henley,
there's good.
They wrote that song, Dirty Laundry. The bubble-headed bleach blonde comes on at 5. She can tell you about the plane crash with a gleam in her eye. Great lyrics, and that's exactly right. Nobody wants to hear about how great things are, and they always save that little 30-second spot on the evening news. Oh, we got something good to show you, too. I'm like, thank God they got something good to tell us.
I generally highlight the good in
That's
people.
right.
That's what I do. I was in an activity, two activities this weekend. One was a packing party, and we sent out roughly 250 boxes to deployed service members. And then I went to Wreaths Across America and we laid wreaths on the oldest cemetery out in Conroe on 10th Street. And I have one to put on my son's marker or his bench at the Veterans Commission. It's a little rainy, so I'm not going to do it today. So those are good things. And when I see good things, I share it with the media. So here's a fun little thought. Meals on Wheels just had, they took the seniors in a van to go see Christmas lights. Nice. And they served them hot chocolate on the bus. Nice. They picked them up at their house.
Awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
People don't know that.
For them.
Yeah. Well, people don't know some of those things. Like you say, they know the bad stuff.
That's a good thing.
There's a lot of good things. So, this is the 4th year that I've done the 12 Days of Christmas, highlighting a different nonprofit. So I've actually highlighted 48 nonprofits over 4 years. I never repeat any.
Really?
And that was in the Courier this week. Nice. Yesterday, maybe, I think. Anyway, so I let people know about different nonprofits, some that serve animals, some that serve babies, some that serve kids, some that serve, whatever the case is, I highlight them. There's a group called Missions on Wheels. So they go across the country, and they're based out of, it's either Magnolia or Montgomery. I can't remember now. It's an M. But I think I met them at the Magnolia Chamber, as a matter of fact, once. And they bring their trailers out to partner with places that has a disaster because they have lodging in the trailers and bathrooms and that. Who knew?
Nice. Imagine
Big
that.
Love Cancer Center. That's another one I highlighted. Henry's Home and Human Sanctuary. That they allow anybody who's a veteran, and I know that there's several like this. I think there's the Joyride Center in Magnolia as well. But they're here in Conroe, so anybody who's a first responder or veteran can ride the horses or take lessons for free.
I tell people
It's
all the
good
time.
stuff.
Yeah,
It's good stuff. People need to hear
great
it.
stuff.
And that's why I started that 4 years ago. People need to hear the good that goes on.
I tell people all the time, the best decision I made in my life ever was to move to Texas. And, from Rochester, New York, right now, you think this is bad weather? It's terrible up there right now.
Yes, it is.
And,
I'm sure.
Trying to get into med school, and I said, well, I'm going someplace warm. And I ended up here. I met my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time. She cornered me into getting married. 41 years of marriage.
That's awesome.
Best 2 years of my life. And we're happily married. She's happy, and I'm married. It worked out perfect for her. So, but I'm telling you, this was such a great place to raise our kids. And now, my 3 kids are all really within 50 miles away, and all doing well. Grandkids, the whole bit. So that's what I say. Come to Montgomery County. Really, this area is the best place in the country to raise kids. It's perfect. Yeah.
You'll find them a great place to live that they'll love and stay there for
we'll
a
find
period
it
of
for
time.
them for sure. Yeah.
So are you working over Christmas to find houses?
Oh, yeah. January 1st is a big day for me because a lot of expired listings happen on January 1st, December 31st. So on January 1st, I call people, and that's what I do. People's houses expired. And how could they expire in this market, right?
Yeah, there probably aren't that many.
Yeah, well, there are. Huh. And, there'll be 300 January 1st, just in a little area that I serve. And I'll call them and say, look, if you really want to sell your house, let's
not your listings, other listings, you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we never have expired
I was
listings.
Say, you have 300? No. You're just going to go through and start seeing how you can help others that may have other realtors they're working with.
Absolutely. People that, are expired listings, they got their hand up. I want to sell my house.
Sure.
And if they didn't get it
How
done.
long is it normally? 6 months?
Yeah, usually standard, So, but it's still a great market. Prices are great. People say, well, I'm going to wait till the prices come down.
And you shouldn't sell it on your own. You should use a professional, correct?
That's like going to a doctor on your own, I can do brain surgery on myself. So the reason being is, it's such a legal conglomerate. Right. If you're a buyer, your documents are going to be an inch thick when you go to the closing table. And if you're a buyer,
you want to make the titles are right and all of that.
Yeah. Hire a buyer agent.
Very important.
Hire one of our buyer agents, Jan Lowe's. She's a stud, and she's going to negotiate in your behalf. And you don't have to pay her because most of the fees, pretty much for the closing fees, are for the the seller. They pay the commissions and the all the closing costs for the seller. So and
That's
they pay the
idea.
buying agent.
Yeah.
I mean, so that
Just
little
do it right.
That 6% that you hear about.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people say, "Oh, you guys make so much money." I'm going to tell you, we don't make 3%. You know, on the day that we close, even though that's what the check says. It takes 3, 4, 5 months to get that deal done.
But you also market it.
Absolutely, we do. We
Stage
market
it,
we
whatever you
negotiate
need
it,
to do.
get the repairs done.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, I say, I know you think 3% might be a lot of money, but you probably went to a restaurant this week, didn't you? Yeah. And you had a waiter, and maybe the food wasn't that great, or the waiter was lazy, or it just wasn't a great experience, and you probably gave that guy 10 or 15 or 20%. All I'm getting is 3, and I'm going to kick butt.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah,
you
it
work
is.
a lot,
Yeah.
right?
That's why
Trying
we
to get it
have
done.
2 admins in our whole business. Well, 3 now.
Yeah.
We have 3 admins in our market, so we're the number 1 guy in Conroe. So
Okay.
yeah.
So LakeConroeGroup.com over at Keller Williams,
Yep.
and they can just walk in there and ask for you or Bruce, and they'll be directed to the right spot.
TheLakeConroeGroup.com. When you walk in the door, we have the whole suite to the right. And
Okay.
Roxanne will tell you. There he is right there.
And Baseball for Babies on January 29th.
Please don't forget that. I guarantee
Big
you,
Barn.
if you go to baseballforbabies.org, when you watch that video on there, just bring tissues because it's a tearjerker. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're raising a bunch of money to save babies. And you know what? Here's the best part. We give away every single dollar that we raise. There's no admin costs. It's all volunteer stuff. It's awesome.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
You're making a difference.
Yeah.
You're saving lives. Okay. Vinny Sinisi, and we wish you a Merry Christmas.
We love you, Conroe. We love you, Montgomery County. Come see us.